Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Cloud Empress. We are finishing our adventure, the last voyage of the Bean Barge. I'm excited. I feel like we had a pretty fun first session, and now I get to just have a guilt-free TPK. The plane falls out of the sky and everyone dies. It's going to be a blast. I'm super excited for it. We are playing with some pregens that my friend Paul created for us. And I'd like to go through and have you guys introduce your name, just what you're good at, and then also how you feel about how this 3-hour tour is going for you. As it was supposed to be a somewhat easy descent from the cities in the clouds to the breadbasket down below, and you're going through some trouble now. So let's go ahead and start with the top left, which would be Tremor. Kipser, give us your introduction.
Hi, I'm Tremor. I'm good at currying. That's my job. But tinkering and mysticism and maybe a little bit of medicine. Rosrog is helping with a lot of the tinkery stuff, though.
How do you feel about this 3-hour tour
Oh,
so
it's
far?
complete shit. We shouldn't be here. This is terrible. I want to use the escape pods.
Well, you might get your chance soon enough. Let's move right along to Aaron.
Hey now, I'm Kandri-Ridon. They call me Rat Catcher sometimes. I'm a fair hand at cell sorting and shooting things up when the time comes. Not too concerned about the flesh bag I'm wearing right now, cause long as I land in something similar to a human form, I'll just jump into the next body and make my way on with my business. Um, course, falling from this height or getting picked off by one of those goddamn giant bugs might put a crank in my plans, but I'm here to tell you this 3-hour tour without the professor and Marianne is a kick in my keister.
There we go. I needed someone to mention Gilligan. Uh, let's keep going clockwise. That would put us with Melissa.
Yeah, so I'm playing Cimaris, the old lordling, who at this point is helping out a lord and moving her towards safety. So as far as she knows, she is doing the good work and will have, good things spoken upon her name for her service to the Lord, because she is helping out this Lord person and she knows nothing that would indicate that this is not the Lord person that she thinks it is. So she's doing good things. She's going to get a promotion and everyone's going to be happy with her. And so as long as she can save this person, everything's fine. We'll be fine.
Like your
We'll be
go get 'em
fine.
attitude. Jeff, round us out.
Yeah, I am playing Rosrog, who is a full-grown courier, partner, mentor, kind of to Tremor. We work together. I am a frogman, and I am very good at acrobatics. I'm well studied in the history of this world, scrounging, tinkering, as Tremor already mentioned. I do have certain tricks up my sleeve if necessary, should the need arise. But maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But I have a way to protect myself and others if need be. And I like to eat, and I like to steal food and various other items from kitchens that aren't mine, because no one is there watching him. So there you go.
How are you feeling about how well stocked the kitchen was?
Well, the kitchen was particularly well stocked. It is kind of curious how well stocked it was, considering it's a fairly short voyage and there's only 2 people on the crew. But Rosrog's not going to ask too many questions, because now he is even fuller stocked than he was prior, and he got Tremor some armor, right? But the pot on,
helmet.
Yeah, that's got to be at least like 5-6 armor, I think, something like that.
11.
We'll go with 1.
At least
we'll go with 1.
1. Wow. Okay.
Well, that's not
Okay.
good. If you
I'm
give
trying
it
to
to me.
protect children, and Steven's just endangering them. That's apparently what it is.
All right. Let's do our recap here. So, What should have been a 3-hour tour is turning into disaster. The Bean Barge may be on its last voyage. You see what I did there? I took the name, the last voyage of the Bean Barge, and I spun it around. Yeah, come
Got
on.
it.
Okay. We got to start with some good vibes, at the beginning of the session. We got to be able to play off each other. This is improv,
I
we got
mean,
to
when
yes
you
and.
when you start off by saying that you can no guilt TPK all of us, I'm not sure.
Oh,
you're
don't
getting
throw that back in my
Called
face.
out.
Oh no, after
Excuse me.
that, I will cry and test your no guilt theory.
Excuse me, Melissa. I'm in the middle of the
Excellent,
recap.
Melissa, excellent
so
use of no but. I appreciate that use of no but.
Steven, you've lost control.
I'm gonna mute everyone so I can finish this recap. No. So the journey began with the crew's introduction and briefing, and Captain Poke seemed capable enough, and their first mate Onion, what he lacked in experience, seems like he more than made up for with enthusiasm. In compliance with Cloud Law, you all paid your respects to the lordling aboard the Bean Barge. Lady Sippa was mortally wounded, having lost an arm in a recent duel. And if not for Lady Cimaris's crest of joining skin, Lady Sippa likely would have died just minutes into the voyage. As the descent of the Bean Barge began, our group met their fellow passengers, a brood sister named Menfa and her protector, a brood brother named Genmo. Menfa is an elderly woman. The brood sisters worship the Imago, and all she's looking to do is see the Imago breeding grounds one last time before she leaves this world. Genmo, on the other hand, seems to have ulterior motives and has aroused the suspicions of Kandri-Ridon after the Bean Barge's communications were sabotaged. The sabotage could not have come at a worse time, as the Bean Barge found itself descending towards a swarm of Imago, giant cicadas. A flying battle brigade of cloud ships also had the misfortune of being nearby and began unleashing their artillery in an attempt to stave off destruction by the Imago. Under the threat of the swarm and with cloud battleships shelling nearby, our passengers hunkered down in the cargo bay. That was when Lady Cimaris went to check on the ailing Lady Sippa, and Lady Sippa was in better condition and well aware of the growing danger in the skies. Taking command as a cloud lording, Lady Sippa told Cimaris that the two of them were going to escape the Bean Barge together and alone, just the two of them. Tremor and Rosrog took the time to check on the state of the escape pods, finding two of them in a workable condition, and one of them to be sabotaged. Prying open the door of the escape pod revealed a dead body hidden inside, a dead body recognized as Lady Sippa? A clone, a copy, a doppelganger? Tremor, Rosrog, go ahead and take 1 stress each for seeing this, but we're going to jump to Kandri-Ridon and start with you. You are in the cargo hold. Menfa is chittering and chattering, talking about the Imago and how much she would love to go see them right now. They're swarming below. As this is happening, it's taking a couple minutes, and you can tell that just from the vibrations of the ship, the chalk engines rumbling, and a feeling of lightness in your stomach, that you're descending much faster than before, likely because Captain Poke is trying to evade the swarm and the battle brigade. There is a thump, thump, thump as the artillery shells hit nearby. The ship rocks again, and this is when Genmo seizes his opportunity. The two of you have been watching each other. You've known that you could tell that he was trying to find a moment to go. And as soon as the ship kilters off course, Genmo tries to make a rush to the ladder and shoving you out of the way, trying to shove you towards the hatch. You get a chance to act, and these actions are going to resolve simultaneously. So he is going to attempt to attack you, and you are going to, you go ahead and get to decide what you would like to do.
I do declare as Genmo decides to make his move on me, I do flick my Derringer out of my wrist sheath and I shoot him squarely in the face. Well, actually, I shoot him slightly lower because I want to keep his face from my next body, so probably aiming for the heart.
And the way attacks work in this game is that they automatically hit. You only have to roll if there's a reason that there is risk, or if you're trying to do something that's especially difficult, perhaps like trying to avoid hitting a nearby ally. I don't think that applies here. Menfa is far enough away. She's not in the line of shooting. So go ahead and roll your damage here. And he is going to attempt to shove you as well. So I'm just gonna say that this is a save for you. Because he's going to automatically hit as well. So I want a body save as he's trying to push you past.
I do declare I
Push you
did
back.
9 points of damage to this here
Ooh,
fella.
all right.
And
So
Go. Sorry.
reminding you what Genmo looks like, he's a big
Oh, yeah.
brute of a man, wearing heavy furs and a clay pot that is kind of broken over his mouth, and with holes for the eyes. Your shot is going to go off and it shatters this clay pot and it just grazes his head. You're doing a lot of damage, but he does have multiple wounds. So you're not taking him out. I think it's fair to say that blood is streaming down his face here and his momentum is carrying him towards you. So let's get your body save.
Now my body's 45, so I got a 30. So I saved.
Okay. So he goes and just gives you a great shove, but with your shot, you probably change his angle. The momentum is going off, and he doesn't quite get to push you back towards the hatch where he wanted to push you. He is still getting you a bit out of the way, but the two of you are kind of locked in together. We're going to have one more round here where we're going to act simultaneously. What would you like to do now?
Son, you done picked a fight with the wrong fella, and so he will fire his second shot of his derringer up under the man's chin.
Okay.
I was going to try to keep your head intact for my next body, but I see that you're a particularly unpleasant individual.
So you understand the mechanics of what I'm doing with Genmo. He did have armor piercing 1. So I'm saying with that 9 damage, it became 8. And you shattered his armor because armor can only take the damage once. So that clay pot is just ruined now. So go ahead. Well, actually, hold on. I'm going to declare what he's going to do. He's going to attempt to just brawl with you. He's going to just punch you as hard as he can. And he has some brass knuckles that you don't actually notice this until he hits you, because he had wraps around his hands, and you feel that punch hit you, and it hits you hard. Let me.
I have AP2.
All right.
He's going to tear my formal traveling clothes, the right bastard.
I cannot find his damage for some reason. It's not on his character sheet. Tools of violence. Okay, that's what's your damage here?
1D. Oh, I rolled a 6 on my damage.
6.
It's a D10.
Okay. I'm going to treat his brass knuckles like a dagger, so it's just going to be a D10 there. And he rolled a 9. Oof. All right. So you are causing him a wound. And you are taking 7 then.
And that is 7 off the health, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And your armor is destroyed.
Yep.
And you're also taking some stress here just from the combat happening. As soon as you enter combat.
Yeah, you take 1 for each attack you make, so I took those.
All right, he rolled a 2 on his wound. It knocks him on his ass. He may not act during the next round. So what's this look like as you're pushing him over?
So I think it's just what it looked like. I shot him up under the chin. Probably the bullet, obviously didn't kill him, so it probably maybe just bounced around in his skull. These Derringer rounds are a little small. Maybe just popped out his ear. And then I just kind of fold him over onto his back. So I just kind of ride him down as I shoot up under his chin.
All right, and we're going to pause the moment here. He cannot act, so you can think about what you're going to do next. Rosrog, Tremor, Cimaris. All 3 of you are close enough that you can hear 2 blasts of this Derringer. Rosrog, Tremor, you're about 10, 15 feet below where this is happening. Cimaris, you're just about 20 feet on the other side of the cargo bay because you were heading out of that observation room. What do the three of you want to be doing?
Rosrog, should we go look?
Bear in mind, the two of you still have a dead body in front of you.
Should we tell someone about the dead lord? Yes.
Well, those are excellent questions. Let me take them in order.
Okay.
Let's go look, and not until we know who we can trust.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Should we hide the body? And Tremor has sort of this humming living armor that she wears, and it has this large sort of moth head with little antennas sticking out of it and holes for her eyes. As you can see her kind of pulling the mask to look up towards the hatch. I'll quickly. I'm going to take a peek out.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
I
You
guess
trying
she
to be
has a
stealthy
pot on
here?
her head. Yes.
They're
so-
shooting each other. We don't
Yes.
want them shooting you, too.
Oh, okay. You should go first.
Let's call this a speed.
I guess I could. That's fine. If you'd like me to. Rosrog will remember that he is the adult, and he will, yeah, you're right. I probably should. And so Rosrog will be like, no, I've got this. And then he will peek.
Oh, you're so brave.
He's teaching you how to survive. That's what he's doing.
My speed is
what-
33.
What do you want me to do, Steven? A speed test? Okay.
Speed, yes.
Oh, that's great. I'm really good at speed. That's my good stuff.
I know. I remembered.
Nice. 50 under 57.
Okay. So you very deftly, very agile, you stick your head up the ladder, and you see Kandri-Ridon with the Derringer smoking, just as Genmo is knocked on his ass, falling backwards. You see he's bleeding from multiple places on his head. He's holding up. He's still very much alive, but he's kind of stunned at the moment here.
Everything
Rosrog, my
seems
dear friend,
fine.
this fella here, I believe, is the saboteur, and I could use your assistance.
Is he still moving, or is he like, when you say knock, is he knocked out, or is he just knocked down?
He is stunned for a round.
Okay. Can I take a shot? I don't want to.
Yeah, absolutely. You could. Yeah, you could.
Okay. So he's been carrying around a pipe, if you recall. He's been pretending it's an actual smoking pipe, but in fact it's not. It's a dart pipe. So he's instead going to fire. He's going to like move it around with his giant frog-like tongue so that he can shoot properly and take a shot at the guy with his dart pipe. Is that okay?
All right. It's going to automatically hit, so roll your
Yep.
damage.
It's a D10. 5 points of damage, right in the middle.
5 points. Okay. He's still very close to taking another wound, but he did not take one yet.
Okay.
So we can just mechanically flavor this that you are knocking him, keeping the wind knocked out of him. So he's just taking a little bit to get back on his feet because he's still trying to recover, and then another dart kind of hits him back.
Okay.
Let's cut
And
to...
I'll make sure to
Sorry, go ahead.
clear a space like on the ladder so that Tremor can get up too, but stay behind, basically. Kind of deal.
Perfectly fine. Cut to Cimarus. You have Lady Sippa holding onto your arm with her one arm, clenched on tightly. You are also holding the Houndcatcher, this very exquisite antique rifle. It's a giant anime-sized rifle. You hear the gunshots as well. Lady Sippa clenches down even harder than she already was with her bony fingers. Get to Captain Poke. Get the key for the Thopter. I will meet you there. Tell no one else. It is you and I.
If there's
It is
if there's
you
gunshots,
And
Yes.
I.
yes,
And she
I need
just
to
stares
protect
at
you. I need to stay with you. There's gunfire. I need to protect you, and then I'll take you to the Thopter, and then I'll go get the keys. But if there's gunfire, I cannot leave you. Who knows who's shooting off these guns? We will make haste. Let us go to the Thopter. And she.
I'm going to ask for a roll here, but I'm going to give you the
Sure.
option. Is this more heart or mind that you're using to try and convince her?
I'm looking at my character sheet and I can't like. She's doing this out of duty. That like this is being a good lordling is you protect the lord and you wouldn't leave them go. So that feels more heart than mind, which is
All right.
30, and I could have rolled a 48, but it feels more like heart. So I'm rolling the 30.
Remember, if you use a certain skill, you can roll with advantage.
Etiquette, of course. Thank you for reminding me. This must be etiquette, that it would be completely against protocol to leave a lord alone when there's gunfire about. So that makes it a 40.
It means you roll twice and you take the lower one.
Roll twice, take the lower. Okay. I mean, I rolled a 22, so I don't
Perfect.
even need to roll it twice.
That is a crit.
Right.
She is
You see
all about
the
etiquette.
conflict in Lady Sippa's eyes. Fine, we go to the captain. Protect me with your life.
We go to the doctor. That is what we do.
The captain has the key.
I suppose that would be more efficient. Make one trip, not two.
And
so we go to the captain.
the two of you start moving into the cargo hold, but in the center of this cargo hold is Genmo, who's been shot multiple times. Rosrog and Tremor have started to move up, and Menfa is in shock. What? What? What are we? Why would you hurt Genmo?
My dear lady, I have to tell you, your associate is not what he appeared to be. He is a dirty, despicable treasure hunter who sabotaged the radio and is attempting to cause some nefarious things to go down on this ship. Now, I will see to it that you get to see your imago, but we need to deal with this no-count dirty sumbitch first.
Genmo, is this true? He just groans in pain and affirmation, kind of like a yarp of sorts.
Yarp.
And Menfa is just very distraught with this, but immediately believes you, especially with the confirmation of Genmo. Well, Mr. Ratcatcher, I suppose I'm with you until we get to the breeding grounds.
Absolutely, ma'am. One way or the other, we're going to land this thing. Some might say it'll be a bit harder than one was expecting initially, but we'll get down.
Cimarus,
what are you doing as you walk into this situation?
I would say, kind of taking a look at this, Cimarus just sort of looks to Lord Sippa and is just like, see? We do not know what is afoot. I must not leave your side.
We stay focused. We go to the captain.
And so Cimarus is going to say to everybody, so I need to take Lord Sippa to the captain to get the keys for the thopter.
You feel her clench down so hard on your arm, but she's too weak to come up with deception on top of it.
And so-
Rosrog, that's not good.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe since it's out in the open now, maybe she could go get the keys herself.
She looks really strong.
No. Oh, I just had this conversation. It would be against protocol for me to leave the side of Lord Sippa. Now she must be protected. Therefore, I must go with. We just talked about
those
that.
are excellent points. Protection. Yep. I can totally see, because we would hate if something terrible were to have happened to her. Yeah. But there's no way the captain would ever let anything happen to her, so I'm sure it'd be fine.
Yeah. He's so nice.
Maybe Kandri can escort her up, because she is in fact a wonderful lord, and yeah.
So
yes,
super.
she already lost an arm, so yes, bad things have definitely already happened to her.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's
Lady
that's
Sippa
terrible.
feebly clears her throat in a gesture that she would have done 1,000 times before in her life to demand attention, but now it just barely makes it through the conversation. Clear our path. I command you.
Yes. We must. This is sinking. We must get to the captain. Yes. We're going to the captain. If anyone needs to join, I suppose.
I have an excellent idea. Why doesn't Mempha lead her to the captain, and we
Yeah.
will help you clear the way to the thopter.
Make sure there's nothing bad on the top, the
Exactly.
bottom, or anywhere else.
Yep.
Menfa gets giddy at this. Oh, I would love to go up on deck and look at the Imago swarm.
Perfect.
Oh, that's
Everyone's happy and alive.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
Menfa-
I'm not young. Is Menfa younger than me or older than me?
No, she's just as old, and she feebly pulls herself up a crate to stand up and starts kind of using that to guide herself as she's walking, as this ship is very much shaky and rumbling here. Kandri, could you help me up to the deck as well?
This is something that you probably have to do yourself, isn't that right, Kandri?
Well, apparently, ma'am, if you can get a start on, I need to have a final conversation with Genmo, and then I'm gonna bend Rosrog's ear for a moment. Then we'll catch right up with you, make sure everything is just fine.
And Simmers, you can help me clear the bottom deck to make sure the Lord is very safe right now.
Well, I do see your point that
Great.
having the
Yeah.
keys to the thopter would do nothing if you can't actually get to the thopter. So
There's so much
Exactly.
danger
that's
that you need to help me clear.
And so Cimaris is gonna take Menfa and just sort of situate her to grab hold of Lady Sippa's one arm, and she's gonna loop her arm around, and she's just gonna kind of pat them both on the back. We're gonna clear the way to the thopter. You go get the keys quickly now, with haste.
I'm going to roll over your critical success from earlier because it was a critical, so that makes sense that it keeps going. Lady Sippa is furious. She's glaring daggers at you, but she is just too weak and wounded to really argue and put up any defiance. Menfa, this elderly woman, has a ton of enthusiasm for going up on the deck and seeing the Imago. She's incredibly excited. So she kind of hobbles over to help Lady Sippa, who's missing an arm. And the two of them move their way across this cargo bay. And it is agonizing to watch because they're just moving so slowly. The ship is rumbling. They're stumbling back and forth. They don't necessarily fall, but they do take their time getting across, just very slow steps, as the four of you are watching with Genmo bleeding on the floor next to you. Eventually, they make it to the ladder. It's very difficult for them to get up the ladder because Menfa's very old and Sippa's missing an arm. Kandri, you said you were going to give them a little boost, so that helps them up. Eventually, they are out of the hatch onto the deck. You see their shadows starting to stumble away a little bit, and you all have a moment with Genmo bleeding out on the floor. He's recovered. He's conscious. He's kind of groaning in pain. He's kind of pushed himself back up to a crate, so he's propped up into a sitting position, but he also knows when he's been beat. He's taken a couple serious hits here, and he's outnumbered right now. What would you guys like to do?
Cimaris turns around to everyone, and she's like, "That is not how you treat a lord. What was that? I
need
should
to
have been the
show you
one."
Yep, I understand. Your etiquette is very important. Come with me now.
Yes.
Kandri?
Okay.
Come here for a second. Come here.
What can I do for you there,
Split.
Rosrog? Now,
It's-
hey, Genmo,
Yeah.
don't even shift, son. We got things.
stay-
We still.
Yeah, we'll stay an eye shot of him, and I'll whisper into Kandri the update while Tremor goes
Fair
and
enough.
shows Cimaris.
So Tremor and Cimaris, you go down the hatch. Rosrog, Kandri, let's do. What are you two saying first?
So, the person's name, I'm sorry, the body.
Sippa.
What was
Sippa.
Sippa. Okay, so I'll be like, Daddy, Sippa, we found a body inside one of the escape pods. It's Sippa, I think.
and someone killed her, and now there's someone pretending to be Sippa, I think.
Well, I'll be this barge got more problems than any 10 barges I've seen before. Well, I guess you are right to pull us all together. Looks like we need to go take care of this doppelganger and protect dear sweet Mempha and make sure the captain doesn't get KO'd himself for those keys. Of course, that means we still got to deal with Gimbo.
Right. That's true.
And Genmo is like specifically with Mempha, with the old nice lady, not with okay.
Yep. Just wanted to make sure everyone's on the same page. And yep. But she doesn't know that we know, so we can use that to our advantage.
I like the way you think, Rog. So I'm assuming then that your young protege Tremor is off to show Simrus the truth of the situation.
That's correct. Yep.
That is fantastic. Obviously, we cannot allow her to get to that thopter and take it, because, well, maybe the only way off this damn boat. For a couple of people, that is.
Yep. One of the escape pods will work. The other one not so much, but we'll figure something out. I think we got some options.
We'll be fine. I've been in worse sticks. 14 bodies ago? Well, that's another story. I'll tell you one of these days.
Okay, I look forward to that. If we can.
The two of you are discussing this, and you hear a feeble voice coming from behind one of the cargo containers of the first mate Onion. What do you... Sippa's not... Sippa? What does this mean?
How dare you?
And why'd you shoot Genmo? You can tell that he's been hiding and just watching with fear as this all unfolded in front of him.
Son, Genmo here is a dirty rat lion bastard who sabotaged your radio, was using the Lady Mempha for some nefarious means, and was in an attempt to throw me out of the hatch. Now, I'm not partial to people with that kind of attitude, so I was forced to put a couple of bullets into him to make him reevaluate his life choices. And we're still going to have a discussion with him about those brass knuckles, which I found to be most displeasant.
This is why we don't allow weapons on the bean barge, because passengers just start shooting each other.
Well, let's put it this way. Without this little here danger, I'd be dead. Lady Mempha would be on her ass. Gimmo would be away after having sabotaged your radio. And he did have brass knuckles, so I'm here to tell you, I'll teach you how to search people later. Way back when, third body, I was a damn fine constable, and I could tell you a little bit about that, but that's another story, Onion. We don't have a lot of time for that right now, son.
Let's cut to Tremor and Simrus. You two have made it down the hatch. Didn't take too long. The escape pod is right there, just turning around from the ladder, and you can see this escape pod. There's a bundle of bloodied sheets inside
So I
of it.
want to prepare you. Don't scream, okay?
What do you think of
going
me,
to be
child?
okay.
I've
Just remember,
seen
deep
things in my
breaths.
lifetime.
Yeah, okay. So Lady Sippa's body is there.
Lady Sippa's climbing this.
No, Lady
She's going to
go,
get the...
look, go over there and look. Remember how her bedroom was like full of bloody sheets, and now they're over there with a bunch of bloody sheets and another body?
And Simrus is just sort of like looking inside the...
You look inside. You kind of have to move one of these sheets because they've shifted around a good amount, and you see Lady Sippa. So go ahead and take one stress from seeing this body.
Oh, well,
You're welcome.
okay.
I think it's also fair to say that I need a reality check from you because you spent a lot of time with Lady Sippa. You were just talking with her, and now you're seeing her.
So I don't know
This is
when
gonna-
the doppelganger thing happened, and Tremor is just kind of like going off a bit.
Yeah, it's a 93 on my reality save.
Oh, I broke you.
Okay, so take another point of stress there. And then I'm going to ask you for one more roll. It's a mind check, but you can use etiquette or dueling. I believe you have both of those as skills. It doesn't matter which.
First attempt is a 68 over 48. Second attempt is a oh, why do I always do this? What is a lolly in Mothership? I always
0.
roll all these and I always forget. Okay, so then that's a single digit success.
Awesome. All right. So you do succeed there. The reality starts warping for you. You can feel your mind slipping as you're the psychic center of the universe, and you start to feel yourself fading, like sort of in and out of consciousness. But then a fact pulls you back in. The fact that you know this as a lordling, that the richest of lordlings can afford to have clones that serve as duelists, sort of like bodyguards. They clone themselves and they call themselves brothers or sisters. And the clone will be the one that does all of the fighting and combat for this lord to keep that lord safe. That doesn't necessarily tell you if this one is a clone or the one up there is a clone, but it's just the fact that grounds you and pulls you from being caught in this psychic web.
And so Cimaris would sort of kind of poke her head back out and kind of look over to Tremor.
Yeah.
So yes, distressing. Little known fact, it's not uncommon for there to be for ladies and lords and lordlings to actually have clones for safety and protection purposes.
Yeah,
so
but this one
I'm
is
gonna
like
chat.
super murdered, and also like this escape pod was very sabotaged.
Well, I'm gonna chat with her and see which one she is. See if she's the duelist one
with
or
the new antique weapon you have. Chat with her with that.
It's just a thing that I can do. I can dead speak.
Oh, I see. You mean this one here, not the one up there. I got them mixed up because they're the same person.
Well, yes, but this one's a dead one. So I wouldn't need to use dead speak to talk to that one because she's not dead. But I can use dead speak to talk to this one because she's dead.
True.
So I will spend the 2 chalk that I have to do a dead speak, which I'm assuming is like a spell that I'm doing.
Yeah, it's a spell. Go ahead and describe what this looks like as well. Like, what does this ritual look like as you're casting it?
So it animates their head for an hour. So I imagine that this is very much about kind of taking some materials and sort of rubbing sort of around sort of the eyes and around the mouth and sort of kind of making these designs kind of around the ears, basically kind of allowing for senses for, kind of this deceased individual to be able to see and hear and speak. And so kind of doing all of those kind of motions and whatnot.
So you go through that, you take 1 stress to cast the spell. And you also need to make a heart check.
I'm just racking up the stress. I need to make a heart check. Okay. Yay, 26 under 30.
All right, so there is no miscast. You were successful with the casting. And Tremor, I think it's fair to say that you can see this dead Lady Sippa's head animate as well. I'm going to say you can't hear the voice that comes out of it, though. So, Cimaris, what are you asking?
Yes, Lady Sippa, I must ask of you, are you the lady or are you the duelist?
Who dares address me without paying respects?
Yes, my sincerest apologies. I was getting right to it. And then she'll backtrack and go through all of the wonderful, things that you were supposed to do when you were first addressing. And then she'll
Do you give yourself your introduction as well during this?
I'm sorry?
Do you introduce yourself as well during this?
Yes.
Okay. Are you being honest about who you are?
Of course, because I want credit for all of the good things that I'm
doing. So you go through that, and very well. Ask your questions.
Yes. So are you Lady Sippa? Or are you the
Of
duelist?
course I am Lady Sippa. I am the eldest sister.
Well, that is very good information to have because I was
Who
just
else
having
would dare to claim my name?
Well, that is a good question because I just had an hours-long conversation with someone who was in fact claiming to be you. So that is a question that
Imposters.
Yes, it would appear. So did you board this vessel with your duelist?
What vessel are we on?
We are on the Bean Barge.
I did not board a commoner vessel.
I did find that a bit odd. If it would be of any use, this particular sister had a missing arm. If that allows you for any information on identification.
She is my lesser. My clone.
Well, clearly everyone is your lesser. Is specifically though.
She failed in her duties, and she was to die.
It appeared that she beat you to that task, and in case I am informing you of something you were not aware of, you have now deceased.
Listen to me. I command you, take my vengeance. Kill the lady imposter, the lesser Sippa.
So she is the one who did this unspeakable act to you.
Do I have your oath to kill the imposter?
Yes, you have my oath.
Then go see it done.
Yes, I can speak with you for a little bit longer if there's any other information that you would like to share with me. Otherwise, I will bid you back.
You think
to
that I
your
wish to
forever rest.
chatter with those who are lesser than I?
If it would
Would I
aid
share
in your
gossip
vengeance,
with you?
Was there anyone that your sister was in league with?
Do your duty. Fulfill your oath and kill her.
Yes, lady. Absolutely, lady. And she's again sort of elbowing Tremor to kind of go through all of the
yeah,
gesticulations and
Tremor, you see the mouth moving and gesturing the expressions, but you don't hear anything.
She's talking? Like, I don't think she can even hear me.
bow. Bow. She can see you.
What? Okay,
Bow.
okay. I'm bowing. I'm bowing. I am bowed.
Okay. Well, she's the real one. She's not the real one. She got her killed, so we have
I
to take our
knew it.
vengeance on that one. Yes.
We are getting
I
killed
would
that
not
one. Okay.
have known. How embarrassing for me that
Yeah,
I
it
did
really
not
is.
know that. Oh
Yeah.
dear, this is quite upsetting. Quite upsetting. But I can make up for this by exacting vengeance.
Well, you got the new weapon.
I do. And she'll take it and look at it and make sure that it's like loaded.
Yes. Give me a mind check here. And I'm going to say you don't take
Ooh.
stress if you fail. It's free.
Maybe even an audience dice.
Holy
Or
crap!
audience
I rolled a
boost. Nope,
5.
Never mind, you don't need it.
All right. This is the Hound Catcher, and it is a moon rifle. It does 1d 100 damage, but can only be fired once a moon.
Is there
As
a
in
way
once a
to
month.
like see if it's been
You feel like it's
shot in
primed
the
and
last
charged. You feel
moon?
like it's
Okay.
ready to fire. It's got a hum of chalk energy.
Definitely want to test it out
as-
just to make sure it works.
Oh yeah.
As you're inspecting this, all of you would notice that the air is starting to thicken. There's a putrid smell and an unnatural heat. And it's something that would be described, the color of the air could be described as like golden, but that would be generous. It's really just turning a piss yellow. And those of you who have traveled this before would know you have entered the layer of atmosphere called the smog. However, you're also getting closer and closer to these flocks of imago. None of you, I think, actually have a view of the outside. So all you hear is the hum of a rather large set of wings, and then the lurching of the ship as something collides with the ship, and it just everyone does the Star Trek shake. I need body saves from everyone.
We didn't have
Oh,
inertial
dear.
dampening on? What's going on?
Yeah.
I don't think we have that much time left. Ooh,
Yeah, that's a
Body, huh?
62.
31.
Oh, no.
All right, everyone who fails is taking 1 damage.
What if you critically fail, as I
Oh, no.
just did?
Then I'm going to roll for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I rolled a lolly, so that's 10. That's a wound.
Okay.
So what's this look
that
like
is a
for you?
wound. So he's sitting there. He was telling Kandri what was going on. Then a sweet onion, whatever the hell this guy's name is. Like, I don't know why I just put sweet on the front of it. I don't think it's a sweet onion. But I just turned to him and I'm like, okay, now listen, I know you're up. Whoa! And he just kind of like, as he's in the middle of trying to calm this kid down, he gets thrown all the way across and like smashes into some crates and things like that. And when he gets up, he's just got like splinters and various pieces like sticking out of his skin and his clothes and whatnot.
All right, let's
question
roll
for
your
you.
wound for you then. So roll me a d10.
Well, question for you first is, since
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a body test, would my armor apply?
You know what? I think it would be fair to say armor does apply. So are you not
Okay.
taking a wound then?
So then, yeah, so like it would tear up my my trousers close to the point where they would no longer provide protection, but
Okay.
it would
That's fair.
lessen it to 8. So, okay, cool. All right.
All right. So Rosrog goes flying.
Ugh.
Tremor, Cimaris, you're down in the lower hatches. So you're like being thrown against scaffolding and railing and things like that. Kandri, you see this as well. And as soon as you get your bearings, the ship re-levels. You can still hear the thumbing of wings. Those of you who have been around Imago very much recognize this noise. It's a noise that is unique to these creatures.
Uh-oh.
We must.
Let's go, let's go. Up, up, up.
Yes. Yes.
No more boring talking. Let's go.
And she just sort of like looks at Tremor.
Hi.
What about Kandri and Rosrog? What are you two doing?
Roswell, y'all need to stop fooling around. Get those splinters out of your hair and come on over here. Let's.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's not good. That's not good. That's like double not good. Escape pods are working though. I could get a handful of us in there.
Well, I think we might be at that point. We're going to have to see about getting the heck off this barge a little faster than I was anticipating. Now, Gimmo, my dear friend Gimmo, clearly we have come to an impasse in our personal relationship. I believe you probably would like to see an end to this day with you still being alive. So why don't you explain to us real quick now what your purpose was on this barge, so we can make a determination on whether or not to flatten you or let you live.
I need to get to the breeding grounds for the eggs.
So you're a treasure hunter looking for Imago eggs. Why'd you sabotage the radio, son?
Because I knew that the 1,000-year swarm was coming, and I couldn't have anyone calling for help.
Right, so you basically put us in a situation where we are forced to possibly die for your own greed.
Let's call a truce.
I respect what you're saying. Hand over those brass knuckles, because I was forced to fire 2 shots at you, and, you know, I think it's only fair to the victor goes the spoils, so hand over the brass knuckles, son.
He thinks for a moment, but he does give in, and he starts unwrapping the bindings on his hands, and you can see the brass knuckles, and it takes a moment to start unwrapping enough that he can get them off, but eventually he does. While this is happening, Tremor and Cimaris are able to make it up the hatch and join you, and right around that time, you hear the cackling of laughter, of old lady laughter. Menfa is on the deck, just giddy and excited as can be. She's yelling about the Imago. She's already given it pet names. You can hear how excited she is, and she's calling Lady Sippa to get off the ground. Come look, let's go see it.
I do declare she is having the time of her life. I don't think she's going to live through this flight, but by God, I love that little old lady. Now,
Yeah, I think this
Gimmo-
is like her Swan song.
Swans, indeed. Gimmo, roll over. We're going to use the bandages from your hands to bind your arms tightly behind your back at the elbows, shoulders, and wrists so you don't cause no more ruckus while we figure out how to get us to the ground safe, all right?
That's not what I call a truce.
I know that's not what you call a truce, but that's what I call a truce. So we can do that, or we can just beat you to death and throw you off the side of this ship. You're muted, son.
I do want a check on this one. Let's call this a mind.
That's fair. All right. Crap. All right, threw that dice away. It's gone now. 42. My mind is 32, so that's a solid failure.
No one is going to bind my hands.
That's fair. I understand this is a very difficult situation, so how about this? You go your way, and right as I say that, I'm going to use my acting skills here to kind of throw him off a little feint here, and I'm going to crack him right in the base of the skull with his brass knuckles.
Yeah, go ahead, make a strength check here. I think all of you are going to take a stress as violence is erupting right in front of you as well.
That's fair. That's fair. My strength is 75, so I'm hoping to get under this by a wee bit. I got a 44.
All right,
Well
that's a
under
crit
75.
success. Do crits affect damage? I'm looking it up. Sorry, 1 second. Critical. It doesn't actually say, but let's go ahead and say double the damage.
All right, then. You said it was a D10?
Yeah.
8 for 16.
16. You're going to cause another wound to him. He is a big guy. He's got multiple wounds, so he's not down yet. He rolled a 1. I'm going to go ahead and give him disadvantage on this because you got a crit. That's a 7. All right, so he's panicking now. You knock him over, and he starts frantically grabbing and trying to run away from you. What are the rest of you doing as you see this happen?
Oh, Rosrog, you're bleeding. You said
Yeah.
you acquired some supplies for me.
Right.
So Genmo is still active, right?
He's still up.
Okay.
He's still very much able to fight.
1 second. 1 second.
I can
And
do.
he's gonna-
I can do that while you're doing the thing. Just no. You keep
I'm trying
facing that
to
way.
shoot my
But
part.
yes, but let
Child,
me get
come
your
on.
head.
He fires his pipe.
Roll your damage,
Oh.
Rosrog.
Tremor
It's-
attempts to wrap his head with the bandages while he's trying to fire his
Trevor's
pipe.
almost like gone for like a
On his
piggyback
back.
ride, like trying to-
It's like,
Just hold on. Just you hold still. You're shooting anyway.
but don't cover my eye. I can't see if you
7
cover my
points
eye.
of damage. 7 points.
All
Oh goodness.
You're doing another wound to him.
Okay.
And you hit him square in the thigh. Your dart sinks in deep. You've seen this kind of wound before. You know it's debilitating. It's a wound that slows him down. He'll move at half his normal speed until he receives medical treatment. And
Okay.
he's still just at that point. He just slumps forward and he's just crawling away. He's trying to put weight on the leg and he falls over. And right now he's crawling towards the observation room. Simaris, what would you like to be doing?
So, do I see the captain and Lady Sipa?
No, they are up on the
Empress?
bridge. They're up on the deck. You're in the middle level right now, so you'd have to go up the hatch to get an eye view of any of that.
So Simaris just sort of looks at everyone and just sort of assumes that they have this covered, and she's not a rifle wielder. She's more of a saber dagger kind of person, but she's just gonna like have this like large rifle kind of in front of her and go up to the top.
Call
So
that
she
more of
wants
a
to.
cannon.
So you climb the hatch. And as soon as your head goes past the deck, you see that there is a large imago, an adult imago, on the front sail. And it is thrumming around. It's climbing around it. Rigging is being pulled up, and it's just thrashing and it's scratching at the hull. It's common knowledge that imago are drawn to two things: one, death. Anything dead they're drawn to, they consume it, and that's part of how chalk is made. The second thing they're drawn to is more chalk. And you are currently on a ship powered by two rather large chalk engines. So this thing is just, you can also see that there are other imago flying around. This is just the first of possibly many that has been attracted to this ship. That's not to say that you can't get away without more imago getting on here, but it's definitely causing some damage.
Well, that's problematic. Do I also see Lady Sippa?
Lady Sippa has kind of stumbled and she's leaning against one of the holding tanks on the center of the deck. With her one arm, she's trying to stand as best as possible. Menfa, the brood sister, has moved up to the imago and she is like jumping and waving and trying to get its attention, and she's starting to like sway in front of it as well.
Simris is just gonna.
God bless that crazy old lady.
So crazy.
Menfa, will you just drop? Just drop. Just stop what you're doing and just drop. Please, just drop.
There's a good bit of chaos going on. The imago would be pretty loud. You have the noise down from below, the engines, the wind as you're descending pretty quickly. I think I would like a check for you to be able to communicate at this distance from her without moving closer.
Strength, speed, heart, or mind?
I think I could go with either speed or mind. I think either of those could apply to this situation.
I mean, I'll take mine because that's 48, which is the highest stat that I have. So that's a 46. So glad I picked mine. 46 under 48.
Okay. And you're telling her to just come back to stop?
Just lay flat. Like she's, making herself a target and just because also she wants to be able to, Simris wants to be able to shoot at the imago and would not like to not have to shoot through Lady Menfa. So she's just like, will you just lay down? Just
your words
drop.
Get through to her, and Menfa turns around and you see her wooden mask that's like has the same expressions as her face. It's molded to her face. It looks confused. Are you sure? Why would you not want me to? And just kind of trails off there.
Simris is like raising this very large rifle because she's thinking that originally she was thinking that this rifle would help with the person, but now she's like, meh, I feel like maybe taking that thing out is probably going to be more useful. So she is aiming.
And Menfa, seeing you aim a large rifle at the imago, is going to be very distraught and upset. No, don't! It's okay! It's a beautiful creature!
And she's about to explain, like, it's a beautiful creature that's gonna kill us and whatever, and she just sort of, like, waves herself off of that and just kind of, like, lifts this rifle up and tries to save us by shooting this thing.
Okay. I'm not going to call it a risky shot. You've got Menfa's attention. She's not really moving anymore. The ship is moving a bit, but I think it's fair to say that you can just roll your damage here. Your D100.
Okay. I was going to say, holy crap, don't make me roll to hit this thing because I don't know that I'm going to be successful at that. All right. Yes. So yes, this is now where I would like to roll high on these dice, not roll low. Let us see how this goes. It's a 25.
25. Okay. Let me look up real quick how many wounds Imago have, because I should have had that ready. Go ahead and describe what this looks like. It's not going to be like a direct hit, but you're going to do a good amount of damage. What's this rifle look like? What's the beam look like? You can even describe that.
So this, what was the nickname for this again? The
Houndcatcher.
So this weapon is very like ornately it's got like etchings and carvings into it. And like on one side, it looks very nice with sort of like all the designs on it. And then the other side is just this like hash mark. So it's just the whole thing is just kind of as it's been used. It's just kind of moving along. And so she's hoping that she can sort of add to the hash marks with this. But the other side is definitely very nice carving into it. It's got some sort of moon phases and, you know, kind of different art like that.
All right, a full-grown Imago has 5 wounds. So you're basically doing half of its health here. It has AP 7 as well, so you're not quite getting 2 wounds, but you're causing a wound. You get a good hit on it, but maybe the ship rocks at the last moment, and it just goes a little bit high, and you blast through its chitinous armor. A wing probably is just shredded to bits, and its armor is now just broken. There's a giant crack on its back that'll be easy for other people to attack as well. But all it does is enrage this creature. The cicada had 2 white eyes that have just turned bright red, and it begins thrashing around violently. Menfa is sobbing. No, why would you? And she turns around and she starts singing to this Imago, trying to calm it down. Rosrog, Tremor, Kandri-Ridon, you hear the blast of the Houndcatcher. It's not a good one, and it was very, very close. It was right from above you. She was just barely outside the hatch when she fired. Genmo is still trying to crawl away violently.
Did she? Oh no, we already knew like there was a Imago here. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, you heard that.
I don't know, Rosrog, but I'm beginning to think we might be needing to make our exit right quick from this
escape pod.
Ship. Yep. I think you might be right about that escape pods about now. Shall we go see if we can collect Simrus before we depart?
Do you think that was her shooting the fake lady?
Oh, I from the screeching I'm hearing up there, I think she probably took a shot at the Imago, but it sounds like it didn't quite take, which means I have a feeling this ship is about to get torn into 2 very, very large pieces.
Yeah,
we need to be off it before that happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Since it sounds like this is where it's going, I want to give you guys just a rundown on the logistics from last session.
Okay.
There were 4 escape pods. One of them was sabotaged with the body inside it. One of them is missing, and a note said that all passengers died upon impact. And then 2 are still there, and they have not been maintained for at least 100 years, according to Onion. They can comfortably fit 2, they can uncomfortably fit 3, and they can dangerously fit 4.
Probably want to get that key for the Thumpter and try to squeeze into that as well.
Well, I just run up and see if I can get that key while you all take care of that distraction on the Imago and get Simmers down here and all that. We're not taking Genmo. Menfa would rather be here anyway. Captain needs to go down with the ship. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Onion, maybe. I think we'll be fine. 2 and 2, maybe.
Why wouldn't you take me?
You're coming, Onion. Don't worry,
I just said if you want to come, you can come and go 2 and 3. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, the maybe scared me.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you
it's
had
up
like
to
a
you.
close relationship with the captain and 2 of you wanted to like stay together.
No, we should get the captain too.
Okay, we'll
Well-
see. Now you're pushing it.
Onion, son, why don't you head on down to the escape pods? We'll take care of everything going up on top side, and we'll meet you down there. I'm sure I'll have a
Okay,
discussion with
okay.
the captain. I'm sure we'll see eye to eye on the situation.
Onion's already halfway down the hatch, getting a seat in one of the escape pods. Genmo has made it to the observation room, the door. He's pushed it open and he's starting to crawl inside.
That's
Razorog.
There's no way to get from the observation room down to the escape.
It's a dead end. Yes.
Okay. One of you maybe got the plan. Tremor, see if you can block off that observation room so Genmo can't come running out. Kandri and I'll go up to the top deck. Kandri, you help Simmerus with whatever that nonsense is. I'll run inside, see if I can get the key.
I like this plan, Razorog. Let's get this done, son.
All right, break. And then he starts going up. He just wants to run as fast as he can to get over to where the captain might be.
All right. Let's start with Tremor. You go over to this observation room. The door swings shut behind Genmo. He just gives it a violent kick as he gets in there, pushing himself further in. What are you trying to do here?
So the door isn't automatic. It is literally a push door.
It's a swinging door, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so looking around, I'm going to see if I can find a rope or chain or something, so I can just tie the handles shut so he can't.
I think it's
open
safe
it
to say
again.
there'd be some form of rope or chain. So let's make this a tinkering check, because you have advantage with that.
I
Or
do.
scrounging. You got that too. Let's call it a mind.
All right. That is a 10.
Okay, you had advantage if you want to try and get a crit. It's your call.
Oh, sorry. I got a 73 and a 10.
Okay, perfect. So you feel like you tie it up tight. You feel very confident that it'll be very difficult to get out. If someone does try to get out of there, it'll take time. It'll take a lot of effort, and it'd probably be pretty loud as well.
Razrog is going to be so proud.
Razrog, Kandri-Ridon, you climb up the hatch, and you find yourself shoulder to shoulder with Simmerus. And Simmerus, you're watching something very strange happen. This Imago with the blood red eyes that was thrashing about, it does get the attack off, so I need to roll damage for that. Okay. So it's doing some damage to the mast, structural damage. The ship has multiple points where it can take damage before it actually falls apart. So you're not in danger, but the more damage it takes, the much harder it is to land safely. And it does some structural damage, but those blood red eyes start to lighten and become paler and paler until they become white again. And you realize it's because of this lullaby that Menfa is singing. And she's got her hands up and she is swaying and distracting it. And the cicada begins starting to follow her and sway with her. And Menfa just sounds happy and excited. She still has the tears from you shooting it, but she's controlling her voice and her emotion. And that emotion is pouring into the Imago as well. This Imago is tranquil for now.
I do declare that is a sight I have not seen before, and I've seen a lot of sights in my day.
Yeah, I thought I would try to that it didn't, and she just sort of takes a deep breath and she kind of reaches kind of near kind of under her cloak and pulls out her saber. And she just sort of runs at Lady Sippa, who is sort of on the side, kind of trying to hold on with her one arm.
Are you trying to attack her?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm going to say Lady Sippa is not even paying attention to you right now with the distraction of the Imago and Menfa. You get an automatic attack anyways, but Sippa is not going to respond this round, essentially. So you're doing your damage automatically.
Sweet. I don't need to be honorable in my vengeance. I just need to get vengeance. So 2d10 damage. So let's see how this goes. Right?
Also
That's
take a stress for
saber.
initiating violence.
I mean, we're not out of stress here. All right. That is 12 damage.
12. She was already incredibly wounded. You're killing her. How are you killing her?
So she's just is feeling a little bit confused and disheartened that she had this like really cool rifle that she was going to be able to do a lot of good things with, and then that didn't happen. And then there's a little bit of distraction because, you know, Kandri just came up and the singing and the lullaby and all of those things are going on. And so she's like, all right, I've got one thing I really need to do, and then just get the hell out of here. So she just kind of grabs the saber and just, you know, kind of does that like fast running that's kind of like tiptoe and just kind of like runs her from the back. There's nothing honorable about this. It's just like straight through from the back.
And this is very much a universe inspired by like Studio Ghibli movies where violence is not the answer. So when you kill something you don't need to eat, you also take another stress. So you do kill her. It goes off exactly like you say, but you have that remorse and the anxiety flooding over you at the same time.
I was going to say that I was going to be
declare.
less stressed because I got the vengeance that I promised, but no.
Simra sir might be one of the most bloodthirsty lordlings I ever met, and that's saying something. I've got mad respect for that woman.
They are usually pretty, but they're okay. I'm gonna get that key now. Try not to kill anything else up here. And what is it, that thing?
It was vengeance. I promised vengeance. I promised the lady Sippa. I promised vengeance and vengeance. And then she's like, oh, well, dear. And so then she tries to like prop her up and kind of just sit her and fold her arms in her lap and kind of like dab at the blood a little bit and try to situate her. And she's sort of look.
Rosrog, you start running to the bridge.
Yeah.
Tremor, you're heading back at this point, but you're not quite on deck. Kandri-Ridon, Cimaris, you notice that while this imago is still tranquil, with the death of Lady Sippa, that smell of death on the air, Menfa has a little bit of trouble controlling this imago, as it's attracted to chalk and dead bodies, death. So the scent is just, it's interfering with whatever ritual Menfa is performing, but you see that she is still maintaining for now. She's hanging on by a thread to this imago. Rosrog, you make it to the bridge. As soon as you open the door, you hear Captain Polk. What the fuck is going on out there?
Excellent question.
Violently holding on to the yoke of this ship.
So he'll say to Captain,
anything bad that you can think of is what's happening. Need that key. Need it fast for the Thopter. We're trying to escape. You might want to come too.
We can't. Those escape pods, those escape pods do not work. I mean, they work, but they...
I hear you. But you know what else doesn't work for me personally is being in the belly of like an imago or something like that. So I'd rather take my chances that me and Tremor and our brains can make them work than that thing out there. So let's go. Come on. If you want to stay, that's fine. Give me the key and I'll fly the dang thing.
You don't understand. I can still land this.
Can you now? When we got a imago out there that old lady is barely keeping contained, and then that other lady out there is trying to shoot the damn thing. They don't seem to understand which thing they want to do. So, what I'm saying is that you might be able to land it, but can you land it before that imago breaks whatever trance it's in right there?
She starts pounding violently on one of the meters until the needle starts finally shaking, and then it rests at a certain point. We're at 6,000 feet. We have to hold on another half hour, and I'll be able to land.
Okay, give me the Thopter key. I'm gonna, as a backup, okay? Just as a backup. So I want to have it all ready to go. In case you can't do it, you can just run on down, and I'll have it popped and ready for you.
Give me a check here, either heart or mind. Your call.
Okay. They're basically the same. Heart. I'll do heart. Oh God. Okay, come on. Come on.
You got this.
21 under 32. Okay, that's passed.
Yay!
I don't have time for this. She grabs the necklace that she has and just rips it. It's a leather cord, and you see a very intricate carved key. It appears to be made out of like something similar to chalk, or maybe it's etched in chalk, and she just chucks it at you. You're able to grab it out of the air.
With my tongue, of course.
Tongue it out of the air. As you do so, I just rolled for our next event, and I rolled not the good one. So as you
Was
grab
there
the
a
key,
good one? I have to ask. Was there a good one?
you hear the thumbing, the humming, the vibrating of another imago, and then the ship lurches again. At this point, you heard it all coming. You were all prepared for it. You don't need to make the body save here. But another imago lands on the top deck, and it is right over the hatches, right in between the two holding tanks. So to get down into the deck, you have to make your way around this imago. This one, Samaris, actually, I think I do need a body check from you and Kandri-Ridon actually as well, because you're right there where the body of Lady Sippa is, which is what this imago wants.
Okay, because I want to throw her overboard so it'll follow her
Well,
down.
yeah, I'll help you with that. That's a 13 under 39.
13. Okay, so you're able to dodge out of the way. Kandri, how about you?
38 under 45.
Okay, so both of you are able to get out of the way. You hear the vibrating fast enough. The ship lurches, and this imago lands down, and the horns on this creature just start rummaging around violently, sniffing. It's not extremely sensitive. It knows there's a dead body here, but it takes a minute to pinpoint where it is. And as it's thrashing about, one of these holding tanks just ruptures. And there wasn't a ton of water left in here, but there was a little bit, and it starts to flood across the deck, making everything slick. Tremor, I think this would be about the point where you make it to the hatch and you look up and you see the underbelly of an imago above this hatch.
That's not good. Is it okay? So would I know enough to know if it's like aggravated or if it's just kind of chilling there dangerously?
It's not. It's thrashing about, but it's not really. We'll say that the vibrating is not as high pitched as it could be, so you don't think it's aggravated yet.
Okay. So I'm going to pull out my flare rifle and have it just kind of pointed up to shoot at its underbelly only if it starts getting violent, if I need to get it away.
Samaris, Kandri-Ridon, you're right there. What do you two want to do?
Chuck the body overboard.
Oh, yes, I see your point. Yes, I'll get the head. I should get the head.
Kendrick's like, all right, I think we can do this between the two of us. Let's on three. 1, 2, heave ho this bitch overboard.
All right, let me think about the best way to do this. I think it makes sense for one of you to do strength and the other of you to do speed. You two can decide which one's going to do which.
33 and 34, so.
I'll take strength because it's 75. For me, I got at least better shot
I'll
than
do
that.
speed.
So this is going to be a combination to get the body overboard, stay standing, and hopefully lure the imago with throughout this whole time. Because if you just chuck the body, there's a chance that the imago wouldn't come with. You have to go slow enough, but be dexterous enough the entire time.
I got a 1.
What are our rolls? A 1? All right, so that's a success. Simmers?
Yeah, that's a 73 over 34.
Okay, so you're going to take a stress here, but you're not doing damage, and it's not saying that it's not going to happen. You're getting the body to the railing, but you just aren't able to get the imago to follow yet. It wasn't able to fully locate Lady Sippa's body, So if you chuck it right now, there's a chance it'll follow, but there's a chance it won't. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to risk it or do you want to wait?
I think Kandri would like reach down and grab this corpse's like jaw and try to like maybe tear her lower mandible off or something so he could toss it up towards the imago to get the scent trail leading back towards them, so then we can then try to chuck it off. You know, tear an ear off or something and throw it up there.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Simmers, I should have asked, how much stress do you have?
I now have 9.
Okay. So if you go to 10, you make a panic check.
Yeah, so if Kandri is doing this thing, would I be able to take a swig of my jug of hard cider? I don't know what it does, but I'd like to give it a try and just see if maybe some hard cider helps with my stress, or I'm just going to drunkenly just fall off to the side and be completely not useful. So
there are only a handful of ways to lose stress. It's sleeping peacefully through the night, eating a tasty meal. I suppose you could argue hard cider could do that, but the idea is that you're resting at a safe location when you do this. I don't think that would apply. So I don't think you'd be able to lose some stress from drinking the hard cider.
okay, I'll take a swig of hard cider anyway, just for funsies then.
Okay. Take the edge off. All right, Kandri, let's get another check from you. Let's call this one a mind, as you're specifically trying to deceive it, lure it. It takes some intelligence to do this.
Nope. 59 over 32.
Okay. You're getting its attention, but it's not quite there. Make sure you take the point of stress for failing. But the imago is still staying over the hatch right now. Rosrog, you have just left the bridge. You have a key in your tongue, and you see that Simmeriss and Kandri are fumbling with the body. Kandri is like kind of mutilating this body in an attempt.
We call this desecrating a corpse in an attempt to lure an imago. It's standard operating procedure in these circumstances, my friend.
Not to nickel and dime you, but I think you should take another stress from that too. That's inflicting a hideous wound, I think.
Me?
I'm on a corpse now. That's not a corpse.
Do you want me to take one from seeing this and from seeing the new imago come down?
No. I would. No, I don't think so. I don't think anything applies for that.
Okay. Rosrog's still kind of keeping it together. He doesn't have that high stress, so he's pretty chill. Okay. The other imago is blocking the hatch down. Still.
It's not blocking it, but it's over it. So, like, if you wanted to try and like weave underneath it, take the risk there, there's a chance you could get through the hatch still.
I am 100% going to try to do that. That is exactly what I would do. I'm going to leapfrog around. Right. I'm going to shift and move. I'm try to shake and bake a bit, and I'm going to slide underneath. And I'm like,
definitely going to be a speed here. I'm going to say if you fail, though, there's a good chance you're taking damage.
That's fair.
And by good chance, I'm going to roll for it.
Can I, because I think this makes sense, would my acrobatics apply here as I am shaking and baking? Okay.
For sure.
That's advantage, right? All right.
Yes, so you roll twice, take the lowest.
This is the roll that Rosrog was built for right here. Okay. All right. I passed the first one. Let me see if I can get a crit on the second one. I passed both of them. So 47 under 57.
So with the deck having this water that flooded out, it's slick, it's slippery. Simmeriss and Kandri, you were having difficulty moving this body and staying up. You got it to the rail, and you look over and you just see a green blur sliding across the deck and then just drops into the hatch. Tremor, Rosrog just falls on top of you.
Let me move this.
I got the key. They're trying to throw a body over or something. Yeah. We're good to go. Captain wants to try to land the ship, but he's like, it's gonna take her 30 more minutes, and just like, I don't think we got 3. So Captain goes down with the ship.
Did she see all of the imago down there?
I have made these points to her. She has not listened. I respect her choice.
I will follow you wherever you go, Rosrog.
Why are you putting your hand on your head? Never mind.
It's
Y'all coming?
He calls up.
You hear Rosrog call up over the vibrating of the imago. You have the body still. The imago, I think it's safe to say one more turn or so, and you'll be able to finally get it. But with the fails, you're just not quite there where you've lured it over yet.
Simrus, I think at this point we just need to chuck this body, hope for the best, get in that hatch, and get the hell out of Dodge. If I knew what the hell Dodge was, somebody told me in my second body. I don't know, but let's get rid of this and hope for the best. I mean, damn, Rosrog managed to just slide on through there like that. I'm sure one of the two of us will at least make it most of the way.
Yeah, Cimarus at this point is like an just anxious ball of energy. Like she's trying to like chug some hard cider and it doesn't seem to be doing anything. And she's like, yeah, let's do it.
So we chuck the body and hope for the
Yeah.
best.
All right.
Yeah.
You
that
chuck
was the roll
body.
that I failed earlier.
Yeah. The imago is still humming around. Are you trying to move through the hatch first, or are you trying to wait to see if it follows?
I'm gonna wait a heartbeat and see if it follows, but if it doesn't,
you're gonna take at least a round of waiting then to see if it follows. And let's go Tremor and Rosrog. You called up to them. No response right now. What are you two doing?
Well, if we have the key, then we can get to the Thopter, or we can do the escape pods and get Onion.
So, I think Rosrog would like to go to the Thopter and try to figure out the controls and stuff, because he's gonna have to fly it because the captain ain't coming, right? Yeah. So that's what Rosrog would be doing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go figure out how to fly this thing. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I can probably come and help with that a little bit. Maybe give you a help action of sorts.
Yep. That sounds good. I need a co-pilot.
Yeah. I can do that.
You start moving down the hatches, and there's this large circular wheel that you have to crank to open I can't remember the name, the like airlock door that you pull up. There's a gush of air, this piss yellow air floods in, and you look down and there is a long ladder that goes down to the Thopter. It's this slim solar powered flyer. It's built out of scrap and it's docked underneath the barge, only accessible from this manhole, and its propeller is spinning compulsively as the air is pushing it. It looks like it's ready to fly. However, it's rather small. It looks as if there's 2 seats. Maybe you could fit 3 in. It'd be dangerous. There are no weapons. It looks fragile. It looks as if it could break easily. And you have to descend this 20-foot ladder to get to the cockpit, which looks locked as well, which would be what you have this key for. If anyone falls on that ladder, they're falling more than 20 feet.
Okay, here's your plan. Get some more of that rope, okay? Mm-hmm. Get some more of that rope. I'll climb down first, okay? Make sure everything's okay, and then we have like a lifeline and everything.
Okay. Let me go find some more scrounge some more rope from the hold
Tremor,
area.
you are easily able to go find more rope. Rosrog, let's go ahead and get that speed test from you. You can apply acrobatics.
Okay, sweet. All right, that's a pass on the first. Good thing I have acrobatics. 46, that's a pass.
Okay, yeah. There's a point where the imago above shifts its weight and the ladder starts shaking, but you clamp on. You make it down to the Thopter. You crawl forward, holding on to handhold after handhold to get that cockpit open. It pops open. The wind takes it immediately. It swings open violently, almost like the wind might pull it off, but the hinges hold. Back up to Kandri and Cimarus. I rolled for it. The imago does not follow the body. So you wait the round, and the imago continues thrashing. If anything, it's starting to become impatient and frustrated. Its eyes are starting to cloud over a little bit. They're not red, but they're not... it's getting to that point. Menfa, is still doing her lullaby, still swinging and swaying over there. And that imago appears to have calmed down a little bit more with the body being gone.
I'm diving for the hatch.
All right.
Cimarus just, Kandri, yeah, go. And then Cimarus follows.
Okay, speed test for both of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
crap.
Just reading the rules for panic. Because,
I did get a
Hey.
25 under 31, so surprisingly I succeeded.
I also 24 under 34.
All right, so the two of you coordinate. You wait. The imago turns around with that heavy bulk, and the legs just open up for a moment, and both of you go in from different angles. You make it down the hatch. You're not really climbing down the hatch. You're just getting in that hole as quickly as you can, kind of controlled descent. It's only a 10-foot drop, so you're not going to take any damage. You plunk into the cargo hold, and at that point, you do hear some violent thuds and thumps coming from the observation room. And then Tremor shows up with a bunch of rope. Oh no, I'm sorry. She's one more floor down.
Yeah.
Well, Simrus, I do believe we should probably head on down, take a look at those escape pods. I probably expect that Onion and our two close friends are already looking into that Thopter.
And she sort of looks over to where there's sort of the thumping noises in the observation deck, and she just sort of like shrugs.
Yeah, I expect that's
continuing
that's
down.
poor Gimmo, who is regretting his life choices at this point.
All right, so you two go down one more level, a bit more controlled this time, a bit easier. And there you see Tremor with the rope on top of this, in front of this manhole that leads down with a ladder.
And she's tying the one side of the rope to the top rung of that ladder.
If you peer over the manhole, you see Rosrog, who's now settled into the cockpit. And then looking around, you see Onion's head sticking out of one of the escape pods. Are we getting in? Is it time?
It looks about to be time, Onion. Simrus, if you'd like to join Onion in that escape pod, it looks like Tremor and Rosrog will be taking the Thopter down. I think we'll be just fine.
Equal chance of death, but maybe if we take two different methods, one of us will survive.
Hell, I love those odds.
And so Cimarus is just
You at
sort
the
of like,
bottom.
wait, I'm going with the.
I'll be right behind you. You get in there with
Okay.
Onion. He's small. I mean, so more than likely the escape pod will be just fine with the two of you in it. And Tremor and Rosrog, but they're both kind of small. They'll be fine in the little Thopter.
And Cimarus doesn't really have time to argue, but she feels like she's being pushed off to the like, this is where the people might not survive, and this is where all the cool kids are going to the Thopter. And she's like, fine. So she sort of like comes in and just like slams the door of the pod shut.
Oh, no.
Cimarus will remember
It slams
this
for a
if
little
we
bit. You see
survive.
Onion's fingers come in. Ouch! And then it slams shut again.
Oh, sorry. I do.
It's okay. It's okay. Do
apologize.
you know how to fly this thing?
Nope. Hoping you do.
Okay, I think the autopilot works. And he starts tightening down the hatch. Tremor, are you going down the ladder?
Yes. So
Okay,
using the
I still
rope.
want the speed from you.
Yeah.
But
You've
if
tied
with
yourself,
the rope,
you've anchored yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
yeah, with the rope, you will not die if you fail this.
Great. Can I
fails.
argue advantage somehow? No, I have no skills in this.
So is the rope? So is the rope tied to the ladder, or is it tied to me?
It's
remember what we
tied to
did.
the top rung of the
She got
ladder.
it
And it's
after you
tied
went
to
down.
me.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
already went down by yourself.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll take an audience dice for a +10 to my roll. That's what I can do if that's available still.
Yep.
I'm going to die. Oh, actually, not too bad. That is I rolled a 16, which would bring me down to a 6.
Did I mention you have disadvantage just because I felt like it?
You would
joking.
kill.
Classic Steven. It's a Steven drop.
Just because
She's a
I got a
gem.
haircut, but I still have hair.
You with the aid of this rope, you kind of like looped it around the ladder so it was coiled a little bit. And then you tied it to yourself. You're anchored to the ship. The rope is looped around. Even if you slip once, the rope just kind of tightens instead of letting you go loose. And you make it down to the bottom of this ladder. You kind of have to untie yourself there, but we're rolling over the success. And you pull yourself into the cockpit behind Rosrog. Are you two just pulling the latch and dropping?
Okay. Cimaris is in the hatch with Onion. I told Ratcatcher that we would meet him at the bottom, and good luck, because we're both equally likely to die because this thing is made out of garbage. Do you want me to close it?
They're ready. They don't. Okay. Close. We're meeting down. We're meeting them. Yeah, we're meeting down. Yep.
I close it.
I got this. Yep. I got this. Yep. Frogs are known for flying.
Well,
You close the hatch, you pull the lever, and then the thopter just drops and plummets. Cut to Kandri-Ridon. You are the only one that is not in the vehicle right now. What is your plan?
So he's just going to take his belt off and kind of strap himself to the or strap it around his forearm and link it through the outside hatch of the escape pod. And he's going to ride it down on the outside. And then when he gets close enough to the ground, he's going to use his scroll of levitation to float to the ground.
Nice plan.
All right, I like that.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
So let's go through.
very much.
Slim pickings, this shit.
I knew it was coming. I was like, he's
Yeah.
Let me just tell you that we roll for each one here. On an 8, you all take a wound. Whoever's on that vehicle takes a wound. On a 9, it explodes, and people on there are instantly killed. So I think it's safe to say that I roll this for you. So we'll start in the order that we've dropped. So Cimaris, you've got Onion punching in buttons, hits a big green one, and then you hear like an engine fire up and sputter out, and you're like, wait, what happened? And then it just slowly slides out of the ejection shaft, and then you just start plummeting. You're falling, but then the engine kicks in as Onion is frantically pushing this green button. It kicks in. It's kind of like a whirligig once you get out, where it starts spinning. The cockpit itself stays immobile, like it's on a. I can't think of any mechanical terms right now. But it's staying centralized while the fan spins around and
While
slowly
Kandri
controls
on
your
top
descent.
is just like whirligigging it around.
He's through he's grabbed hold of the outside of the hatch.
Oh, okay. But Cimaris is taking another swig of hard cider because like there's no reason to crash with any cider left in that jug.
You're still at a good altitude here, but you're close enough now that the escape pod it takes several minutes still. And looking out the one hatch, the one viewing hole, you see Imago flying over. Nothing hits you. You land on the ground. Onion is terrified. He's pale white, whiter than this right here. And he unbuckles himself once you get out and then pulls open the hatch. You look around and you find yourselves in the breadbasket, the farmlands below the clouds. Where you are is still very much up for debate, but you're alive, and that's what's important.
Onion. What fabulous. That was perfect. Wonderful. Would you like some? There's one swig left.
Yes, I would. And he takes it and he immediately spits it out as he didn't expect the taste. That's sour. That's sour.
Yes, it's celebratory though. It's you feel alive. Don't you feel alive?
Yeah, I suppose I do feel alive.
Yeah, exactly. Great job.
Do you think I lost my job?
I think there are plenty of opportunities ahead for you. I, as a Lordling Cimmerius, will provide you with any letter of reference that you need. It will take you far.
Oh, geez. That's great. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
With that renewed sense of hope, the two of you begin wandering into the farmlands, looking for any sort of civilization or society, with imago clouds swarming above you. Rosrog and Tremor, you two were next. Who's piloting this thing?
Rosrog.
I think
but would
Rosrog
like to
is,
give
yeah.
him the help
Okay.
action if I can.
So here's the thing about the Thopter, is that I still rolled to see if it explodes, but it also needs a successful piloting check. So how's your piloting look? We'll call that speed.
Do they not tend to the Thopter either? They just what the
No. The whole thing
We've
is
got
falling
audience
apart
stuff
everywhere.
if you want audience
You
stuff.
take an audience thing, yes.
Audience stuff.
What's the skill? What's the attribute?
It's
Speed.
Thopter piloting for
Speed.
sorry.
Okay, and Thopter piloting is a skill in this
It
game?
is a legit skill. I'm looking at the skill
Okay.
list.
All right, I don't have it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay.
Oh.
What about I guess
Learn
tinkering wouldn't
something
really
new.
apply either. Okay. So am I getting anything from Tremor being my co-pilot? From being Goose to my Maverick? No, that's not good. I shouldn't have done that.
Oh.
Pretty sure that, yeah, that didn't end well.
No,
That's a rough one.
no, sorry. I take it back. Take that back. Okay.
You can get advantage for the co-pilot.
No, I'm good. 17. 17 under 57.
17.
Nice.
Speed's
Describe
my
your
only good
graceful
skill.
landing.
Okay, so I like to think it is just like a dogfight, as there's just like, and I'm just kind of flying through. It's like that scene from Serenity when it's just kind of coming down, and there's all sorts of
on the
debris,
wind.
and there's crazy Imaga, and like we're like up and then down and around, and it looks for a second we're gonna explode, and then we just like emerge from within a cloud, and I do land. We do make it,
It does not explode. You
Okay.
do land.
and so I'm like, hang on, here we go. And I'm just kind of like pulling back at the joystick. I need help. And then a tongue comes out, and so my arms and my tongue and then Tremor were all trying to pull
Okay.
up. And then we
There's no landing gear, so it kind of like bounces and
Just
skids a
bumps.
little bit.
It just
There's a ditch trailing behind you, but you are safe and sound. The Thopter did not fall apart. That brings us to Kandri-Ridon. I'm still going to roll to see if it explodes. And then I think it would take a speed check as well for you to be able to know the right time to jump off and then perform the spell. I think that's fair.
Sure.
I have rolled 3 for each of you.
That's
I rolled a
fantastic.
3 for all of you. What the hell?
Somebody
like
wants
those
us to
dice.
live.
Not me. Okay, so
So
give me
me.
the speed test. As this thing does not explode, the whirlywig, the fan is going, controlling your descent. You have the belt on, so you're not at risk of falling, but it's more just getting free and using the scroll at the proper time.
I will take an audience die to
Yep,
to
fair
do
enough. Give
this,
yourself plus 10.
which is good because I got a 40, which takes it down to a 30, and my speed is 31.
All right. And you are casting
Nice.
the spell
So
there.
close.
So because you are casting a spell, we also need a you're taking a
Spellcasting?
stress and a heart check.
And I do have spellcasting as a skill, so I get an advantage on the heart
Nice.
check. My heart is 36. I got an 11 and a 93, so I'll take the 11.
The 11.
A
Chris,
crit.
go ahead and describe how this looks. The whole scene.
So we see the escape pod poof, land. We see Cimmerius and Onion get out. We see Rosrog and Tremor skid across the ground. They get out, and then you guys look up and you see Kandri coming down. He's just floating perfectly. Then he pops into his back, crosses his arms, folds his legs, flutters to the ground, and then just walks out of it. He's like, I'm here to tell you, that was one of the best landings I've had. Next to my 4th body. Now, that was a landing, but let's go get a drink and I'll tell you all about it.
He walks out of it. The escape pod explodes behind him. He doesn't even turn around. He just keeps going.
You can't turn around.
And that is where we are wrapping Cloud Empress. You all survived. Man, I thought if I was ever going to get a kill on my GM belt, this would be the game, but you guys are too good at it. And my dice are too bad at it. Congratulations. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the setting. I really enjoyed the chaos of how like one
Agreed.
thing goes wrong and then another thing and then another thing and then another thing. Hope you all had fun. It's always fun to play with you all. Let's do some shout outs.
Hold on. Did the captain survive though? Did you roll for the captain? Did you
I
kill
did
the
not.
captain?
You want to see
Yeah.
if the barge
I
made
do
it?
want to see if the barge
You could
made
kill
it.
the captain.
Did you kill the captain?
That
Did
make you
kill
feel
her?
better?
And
That
Mempha.
make you feel better?
Sweet
Roll
little old
well,
lady.
Yeah, you left
And
Mempha and
the
Genmo
sweet
too.
old lady. Well, I mean, she wanted that, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
she was excited.
Yeah, that's a happy ending for her, really.
Yeah,
if you think
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. But how'd we do?
The bean barge survives.
Oh
It takes
Wow.
quite a bit of
God.
damage. It takes a bit of wear and tear, but it does make the emergency landing only because she had
Wow.
advantage on the piloting skill.
Good job.
Very nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Captain
Okay.
Pope, not too bad.
Nobody
Not
died.
bad at all.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
All
Fun,
right.
fun.
Well,
This-
except for Lady Cimaris. She died
Yeah.
a lot.
Sippa. Yeah, she died twice.
Sippa. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's do some shout outs, Aaron. What do we got going on with Garblag?
Let's see, on Garblag tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can join me as the narrator for some more Marvel Multiverse Cataclysm of Kang while we are in the rank 3 trying to save New York. Then on Thursday, you'll see Ben in the GM seat as they start season 3 of Dune, Chronicles of House Dargouche. And then come back around next Tuesday. There's may be a game, there may not. So check us out on the Garblag Discord, and we should have the schedule up then. But Tuesday is to be determined.
Awesome. Kipser, what do we got going on here at Lollygaggers?
Well, Stephen has decided to steal one of my Kickstarters for next Tuesday and is going to be running.
What am I running?
Oh, I don't
No
know.
one told me.
Perils of Princesses, where we will all be princesses next week on Tuesday.
We are all going to be pretty princesses.
Pretty
Thanks to Kipser suggesting it. It's an OSR style game, and it actually looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited for it.
It's so cute.
It's a great setting. It's got awesome art. Yeah.
I am
Jeff,
excited.
what are we doing after that? Or before that?
Well, yeah, we got a lot of things. Thursday, you can see a bunch of us here playing some Simbaroom. Same crew that played Werewolf. We started that up last week, so we're continuing this Thursday. Almost got somebody first time around. It's pretty great. Friday we got some Delta Green, where we have a little bit of a surprise that we're gonna unveil that night. Saturday, Call of Cthulhu, Eternal Lies. Monday next week, back to Alien, as that's another new game we got on the channel. And so yeah, that's what we got going on. We got the YouTube page, Adventures in Lollygagging. All of our games are up there, including Aaron's Warhammer 40k, Wrath and Glory game, Fragged Empire, and all sorts of old games that we've been playing for years now. For years. You can see Steven with hair and with a beard in some of those videos. It's pretty great.
Sometimes just with hair, sometimes just with a beard, and now with neither.
Moves it up. Yeah. He's gonna take off his eyebrows for next Thursday or next Tuesday.
I almost did it just for the joke, but my wife's birthday is in a few days, and I don't think she wants pictures with that. So
That's fair.
It's
Stop.
you use a glue stick, like an elementary glue stick, and then you use just foundation, and you can make them disappear for a day.
yeah, or I just shave them off, and then
There you
I glue stick some of my dog's hair on for the next couple weeks until they grow back.
Just
Very
draw.
good.
There's a picture.
Just draw them.
I would definitely like to see that. I think that would
I
be an
would love
interesting
it.
look.
That would be
Okay.
amazing.
How many bits
Also,
would
make
that
sure you
take?
come join our Discord. Mostly so you can tell me how much you love me. Also, so we can feel awesome sense of community because we love talking with you all. And finally, because I'm selfish and I need play testers for my RPG that I'm making. I'm working on a Weird West RPG. It's been a lot of fun play testing. It's open play testing. All you have to do is be on our Discord. When you accept the rules, you just click on the little cowboy hat. It gives you a playtester role. And whenever there's a slot, you have a chance to jump in. I've really enjoyed play testing it. Most of the people on the screen have played, except for Aaron. I think he doesn't like me, but we'll get into that later.
I think you're
I talk
swell.
with my therapist about it every week. Um, but yeah, please come join the Discord and play games with us, because why not? We need more games. Who are we rating, Jeff?
We are going to be raiding some Blue Cottage D&D. But I got it up and running already. Thanks for running this, Steven. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this.
Yep.
And everyone out there, thanks for watching this, whether you're doing it on the stream, whether you're doing it on YouTube, or if you're listening to this later on the podcast feed. We really do appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night. We'll catch you hopefully Thursday for some Simba Room. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.